Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome to just a really quick tip tutorial video. I'd reached the point in my Let's Play where I was getting into abyssalcraft and stuff, and one thing I was wanting to do was to get a certain sword, and I found out a trick for it. I was doing some testing in my test world here, and I just want to show it to you guys. It's also covered in today's episode, but just for a little quick tutorial. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be summoning the boss Sakthoth. And there's actually two different ways that you can do it. There's a ritual that you can use. Once you get to the Abyssal Wasteland, you get the Abyssal Wasteland Necronomicon. You can do... So this ritual right here, it requires an Oblivion Catalyst, 4 Obsidian, ODB Core, Liquid Corellium Bucket, and Liquid Antimatter Bucket, and 1000 PE. Now, if you're playing SevTech Ages, which is, you know, the case for me, if you do it via the ritual, you'll probably have to use hoppers or something. If you're in Age 2, that's when I got it, to pump your Obsidian in. And if you want to get Obsidian within Age 2, what you do is the chalices from Astral Sorcery. If you take and set up 2 of these and put lava into one, water into the other, and I know I showed this in my Let's Play, but just in case you aren't watching the Let's Play, you'll notice the lava shoots over, and there we go, we got lucky the first time, and Obsidian was made. So you can do that to get Obsidian. That's how I got Obsidian in the Let's Play. So, and it is available early on. Now, the other way that you can summon this boss is just to craft the bomb itself. So 5 Obsidian, ODB Core, Liquid Antimatter, Liquid Corellium, and Oblivion Catalyst. That's what I did. You can do it either way. This saves you the PE, and this saves you having to put the Obsidian into the ritual. But like I said, hoppers should be able to insert that, no problem. But if you make this bomb, what you can do is you just come out here, and I'm going to be doing this in creative. But you can put your bomb down, and I'm going to do this in creative because I can actually show you guys some things as we go through it without him attacking me. It's actually a pretty strong boss. There we go. You have to put it near the back end of that. But whenever you light that, I would back up a good distance because this explosion is massive. And you really don't want to get caught in it. Yeah, you can see it came all the way out to here. And it says, Sakthoth, I am unleashed, feel the wrath of the dark realm mortal. And it does, if you do it in the overworld, it turns it into night. I'm actually going to set it to daytime so you can see him. This is Sakthoth. And he actually shoots out like this shadow stuff, kind of like the Shadow Beasts do. He does a decent amount of damage. He also will wreck the durability of your armor. I do suggest you have some decent armor, either maybe Valinite from the Between Lands. This is assuming you're playing SevTech. Just get some decent armor on for this guy because he does do a lot of damage. And you'll also notice he has 300 health and 20 armor. That's massive. Most swords don't do a whole lot of damage to him. For example, if I get Diamond, of course, if you're playing SevTech, you're not going to have Diamond in H2, but just to give you an idea. And this stuff isn't actually here. This has been blown up. But you can see I just smacked him. 2 damage hit with a Diamond Sword. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the Voodoo Doll from Between Lands because it does bypass armor. Really wish he would get out of that. But anyways, you can see this does a lot more damage to him. And you can actually kill him in, just a few seconds. So after killing him, he's going to spit out like a spew of smoke. Let's actually remove this. And he's also going to drop some adds on the ground. And you can just use the Voodoo Doll to kill those off too. I would suggest if you have it, bring 2 Voodoo Dolls just to be on the safe side. Yeah, you can see this is like still loading. Like what all it's destroyed, it's massive. But whenever you kill him, Sakthoth's Soul Reaper Blade is what we're after. Now, whenever you get this, if you're in Age 2, you're not going to be able to read it. It's just going to be like all those symbols, but it's going to say 30 damage, 1.6 attack speed. But it's still, you can still use it. It displays and it doesn't show the data for it because you have to get farther in abyssalcraft. Now, if this sword does not drop, because there is a chance that it's not going to drop, this sword is only, I want to say it's about a 50 or 60% chance. So, I mean, the drop rate's not terrible, but there is a small chance that you're not going to get it every time. So this sword is really nice. 30 damage, that's massive, right? And that was originally what I was planning on doing, was getting that. And then I happened to get an idea, because, like, this sword, if we put down an anvil, and we put this sword into here, you can rename the sword. That works fine. But if you try to put enchants on this, like mending, you can't. This sword is 100% unenchantable by standard methods. If you put it in an enchanting table, you're not going to be able to enchant it. Nothing like that. But what you can do is you can get the Stellar Refraction table from Astral Sorcery, And we'll go ahead and pop some infused glass in there. Let's pop some parchment. And let's set the time to 1800 hours. That'll work. We'll just make an enchantment, and then I'll pop into the survival world and I'll show you what my sword has on it. Okay, so we got it engraved glass with Avatos on it. And so then what we can do is we can pop our parchment out and throw our Sakthos soul sword in there, and it's going to enchant it. This does work, and it's really kind of OP. Because this sword wasn't meant to be enchanted, and the fact that we can enchant it using astral sorcery is a bit crazy. So right now it has Mending 3 on it. And you'll also see there's souls harvested. What that does is as you harvest souls, it gets progressively stronger, but at certain milestone kills, you get a soul every time you kill something. So at like 32 kills, you're going to get buffs. At 64 kills, you're going to get buffs. And it gets progressively stronger all the way up to 1,024 souls. So at I think the milestone at 1,024 souls, when you get that soul, it gives you like some crazy stuff like regen and speed and resistance for like 2 minutes or something. That's what the souls harvested does. But so now we have a 30 damage, 1.6 attack speed sword that mends itself. Okay, which is pretty awesome. And then in addition, what you can do is you can actually take the green middle gem, or any kind of middle gem for that matter, whatever you want to use, and you can put a gem on it. So in my world, I have a green gem because you don't really need a strength boost. You don't really need a weakness debuff on mobs. I don't feel like with a sword that does that much damage, it's going to one-shot most of the things in the game. So you put a green gem on there, and there's a chance that every time that you attack, that you're going to get back health equal to 50% of the damage done. So I mean, you're talking like pretty much full health. If the green gem goes off, you're unless you're just like on the verge of death and you have 20 hearts, you're not going to get full health, but you're going to get back a lot of health. And it's going to keep you topped off pretty much all the time unless something one-shots you. But yeah, you can use either method to summon the boss. It doesn't change the drop rate. Also, Voodoo Doll works perfect. The boss doesn't need to be player kill or anything like that, anything specific. Because his drops work a little bit differently, because he actually dies. He drops like a shadow gem on the ground, but his XP and his items are dropped on a death animation, and it doesn't really matter if you have... it doesn't take into account the player kill or not. I mean, none of that stuff really matters. I don't think fortune or looting will work on him either due to that. So, but you can enchant it with this, and you can put some crazy enchants on it. So I'm going to pop into my survival world, and I'll show you what I have, as well as my bow, which is also really powerful. Okay, so back in the server, you're not going to be able to read my sword, but you can see it's 33.5 damage, and it's 1.6 attack speed. What I have on here is I actually have Avatos for mending. I also have Decidia for sharpness. And then lastly, I have Heralgium for looting. So I have those three things on there, and you can't really read it, but you can see the damage is boosted to 33.5. That's due to the sharpness. And then it has, I believe it's looting 4 or looting 3. Actually, you know what it is? It's because you can kind of read the symbols there. It's mending 3. If you look down there where the enchants would be, it's mending 3, sharpness 6, and looting 5. What it is, because those symbols right there, the numbers kind of correspond to Roman numerals, sort of the whole idea behind them. So that little like almost like lightning bolt shape is 5, and those little square shapes is 1. So yeah, so mending 3, sharpness 6, and looting 5. So very, very OP weapon when it's enchanted. And then like I said, with the mending, it's gonna stay full durability, and you have a 33.5 damage weapon that absorbs souls, and you get buffs and all that good stuff. And then I have a sentient bow over here with mending 3 and power 7. And I made this was made using a glass that has Pelotrio and Decidia. So mending comes from Pelotrio, Decidia does the power / sharpness. And Pelotrio is also infinity, but it didn't give the bow infinity, it just gave it mending. So, which the bow was already damaged, that's why it's not built up. So, and that has an aqua gem on it. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to bring that to your attention. It makes a crazy weapon that pretty much one-shots most things in the game. The things that it does not one-shot, it does a lot of damage to. The green gem keeps you topped off. Then you have the looting effect, which is really powerful. I will say Horalgem is the constellation that only comes up once every 36 days, so it can take a while to get that. But anyways, I hope it helps. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments, and I'll do my best to get those answered for you. I think this is debatably probably the best weapons in the game. The sword, 33.5 damage. The bow, and this is just with a common Tartaric gem, it does 23 damage per hit. It's not completely filled, but it did 23 damage. So, and then of course, as you get better Tartaric gems, it's going to become better, and then you can do different types of wheel. So you can end up coming out with a really powerful bow. Arguably, these two weapons, unless there's creative weapons or something at the end of SevTech, these are probably the two best weapons I think that you probably get. They're definitely the best that you can get in Age 2. Both of these are obtainable in Age 2. I'm presently in Age 2, and you can see over here that I have tons of obsidian, so from these containment chalices. Anyways, I hope it helped. I hope it'll help you guys out. It does take a little bit of time because you have to get into astral sorcery. You have to get into abyssalcraft. You have to get some good armor, and ideally, that boss he hits extremely hard. So I do suggest you get either a rapier could work from TC as long as you're careful, or just get the voodoo doll from Between Lands to make it super easy. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions. If you enjoyed the video, if it helped you out, be sure to hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.